Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here back in Montezuma, going to be making one of our last trips of Tier 2 cars that we turn around and just about have the mine filled up, or pretty good towards filled up, but then the logs are running out here, so we will have to run logs soon. As you can see, the pond is totally empty there. We're down to about 30 on the lumber, something like that, so running out there. So we're going to get this one run over quick, and then we are going to turn around and work on some rail expansion. Today is going to be the idea. Just going to get this one out of the way. We're going to have to turn around and find a place to park all these cars, and we are going to try to get out to the smelter today if we can, since we do have quite a bit going on in the iron mine, which that's going to be our jackpot of our starting money. Going to give us the ability to upgrade our locomotive for sure. Currently we have the money for rolling stock. We can kind of take a quick peek there. Up over $4,000, but we are going to have the hopper cars, which are not cheap, so we're going to have to buy some of those. And then we're also going to be looking at the Tier 3 cars for the cordwood. That will have to start getting moved over if we attach to the smelter. So that money kind of already pretty much spent in rolling stock. Looking to upgrade the locomotive, as we're still with the starting Montezuma. Not that we have any complaints, honestly. Montezuma doing surprisingly well at this point for everything we need. 20 miles an hour, I guess, is the only drawback there. So if anything, we'd probably be looking for a locomotive with just more speed, more so than more power at this point. Not having an issue getting around. Montezuma is doing the job. Heading through the station here. I think we can make one more round on the water and the wood. That's kind of why we're just going to take it now, rather than if we turn around and let it sit there, we're just going to burn out our wood supply. And obviously, not that wood is a big deal. We can get that anytime we need it. But we're going to make the most of what we have and use it when it's in there. Montezuma, I have to say, surprisingly, has made this run like, I don't know, 3-4 times already on one supply of wood. And yeah, just not looking to waste it. Water is going to be a thing soon, though. We are actually running low on water, surprisingly enough. Water usually not something you tend to run out of a lot, but then too, we're at about the point where we could buy another new locomotive, and if we did, we wouldn't have to put any more water in this one. But I think we'd be using Montezuma for a hot minute here. Although once we get to the iron, we know that that's going to change things, right? Like, the iron is a boatload of money just waiting to get moved. I mean, I think last I checked over there, we already had a couple hundred, so that's like $10,000-$20,000, something like that, going to be ready to be cashed out. It does take quite a bit more runs, obviously, in the game when you're running on medium or hard. That's the nice thing with running on easy, is the industry certainly fill up fast. Though the harder level that you have it set on, the more money you're actually going to have in your bank account. So it's kind of a catch. I always think it's harder to play through the game on easy, especially if you don't deliver to the depot, because you only get limited supply of money, and then you have to make the most of it, you know. Where on hard, really, you end up running so many loads on hard that you have so much money that the game is actually much easier. It's just more time consuming. Not per se harder. So played on medium, just kind of in the middle of the road. So thinking this time, can't really scoot this locomotive along much faster with the full load. 18-ish is about what you get out of it. We get 20 basically on the way back with the 10 empties, this just kind of where it is. I've kind of come to when it's running full, you know, 88, 90, somewhere right in that range, 90, 91, whatever you get, right around 90-ish is ideal, it seems, with the 10 loaded cars, and then coming back, you can bite it down to like 40 something, and that gives you the extra mile an hour or two that you squeeze out of it, 2 or 3 maybe. Just seems to be the reality of running Montezuma on this run. Zero complaints though. It does let you jump right in, kind of just start running loads. Montezuma looking good here in the morning sun. Kind of manually advancing time along in this one. I have an hour per episode, I think is kind of what doing it. Otherwise, have the time shift and all that just turned off. I think in the building phase, it's just much easier to keep it that way. Mesa Plains looking good though. Know we are headed in, so as we can turn around and take a look up here. Which way are we going? We're set to go that way, which will bring us back around, and then we'll have to come over. Our construction is going to kick off of here and lead over to here, so nothing too crazy. See, the thing is, do we want to park cars here? Because it's like you could bring the wood cars over here and park them. Quite honestly, we can turn around and put in a hold for the wood cars, probably right there. It is like a short stack of cars. And then just hold them where they go. Maybe that's the ticket. And then all these can get held out at the... But then tier 2 cars you use in a lot of locations, so these actually should probably get held back towards like the depot, because these things get used, although most of the time they're carrying wood, right? I don't know. It's always hard to decide where you want to actually hold cars, or just buy another stack of cars. Who knows? You know, we should have enough money on this that we aren't too worried about it. Yeah, I like the route running over here much better than running through the rock. I know last time we did this, turned around and ran somewhere over in the rocks just because it was trying to get in and through the rocks, but I actually think this just looks much better. Sometimes you do things for cheesy looky reasons and they don't come out the way you want them to, and I think that was the case for me last time in there. I do like that much better. Alright, this is where we're going to see the little part of the track that we did not see last time due to our catastrophic derailment at the end there. Though empty, I do have to qualify that by saying the train was empty when it came off the rail, so no harm, no foul. Product was not wasted in the collision. I do like those big, huge cacti. Some of those are just awesome. 20-foot high cacti. Just cool. When you one of those big hollowed out cactus, you can drive right through it. That'd be cool. Only kidding. So I swear I saw a photo somewhere. I don't know, they probably ran trains through trees like they did cars back in the day too, who knows. Some extreme rail photos out there for sure. And Now I think we have the sound. You do have to give it credit. This sweet sound of the whistles in the canyons. That is nice. Yeah, it's pretty groovy. There's one of the big cactus right there. Super cool. Suppose we can turn around and pop that off. We don't really need it for a minute. Just kind of take in the look there. A little bit smooth on the canyon floor, but other than that, not bad looking. For running a train. Alright, cruise on. Enough of the silliness. The other option is to turn around and hold these cars here at the mine, but I think that's probably going to be a nice place to hold the hoppers, so I don't know. Or do we put in a full-fledged yard? I'm kind of leaning away from the yard. We did like central yardy kind of stuff last time, so I'm thinking more like just run out and eventually like maybe central yardy of some sort. Kind of see how it goes. Probably a little more convenient if we just run a new logo on every stack. That means we're already owed a loco. So we have 2 stacks and 1 loco. Alright, we'll bring that up. Let them know we are coming. Chop that. We'll definitely make it on the roll from here. We'll pull that back, and then we'll try to do some nifty offloading here quick, and just get that all done. And then we'll go over and work on some build projects, and probably pick up some new cars here. Alright, let's get this where we want it, controllable. Cool. That's the way we want to go. So we'll drop those. And then we'll drop those. Whoops. Let's not miss things. We're doing alright so far. Everything is going well. Go ahead and put a little more in it. And these all offload a little faster, so we don't have to dilly-dally so much here. We'll just get those all to the dock. Alright, and nice and smooth. I think we'll just leave this one here for now until we make some decisions about what we're going to do. Everything nice and unloaded. Looks like we are not consuming anymore. Oh yeah, we're still not quite full. Probably are gonna get full though, so there we go. I mean, that's our $27,000 there that we are gonna get out of the mine, which that's cool. definitely will be picking up a new locomotive out of that. So then we're going to turn around and jump over and fly. We know we're going to reconnect here, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. We're not going to build off of that because not really sure how we're going to come into that just yet. We'll just see what our angles are more coming out of here than that. This is going to be our target. There's our switch. All right, so we're going to have a nice little hook over. All right, let's go ahead and drop in our docks first and foremost. Ooh, so this is going to be our ugly dock, and this will be our easy dock. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Grab the links. Again, this you have to give them credit. No, can't say it a ton of times. Yes, it used to be a unique skill to get those all straight. Now it's just simple, which is nice. Alright, so this one, we're just going to go from there, and we're going to see if we can get the link there. That's going to be the angle at which we are going to drop. Again, super easy. Okay, that's good. We'll get a link over here. There we go. Link. And then this. I think we're going to run out. How are we going to do this? Let's see. We want to just run it out. Because I want to put in I guess you don't. We wouldn't really need a way to bypass that, because if we're, unless we're going to bring them back together. Well, whatever. If we need to put turnarounds or something like that in, we could do it later. Let's build in some space for some options. So we'll put in, yeah, we'll just do like 25, right around 25 meters of a straight there in case we ever decide to put something in there. Who knows what we may do in the future. And we'll do the same thing on this end, just to kind of future proof it for options, because I could definitely see us trying to do some different things in here. Okay, yeah, then I think let's just fly up, head over in this direction quick. We'll get rid of that. Let's go ahead. Yo, gone day. All right, cool. Don't back us up to the moon. We don't need to do that. Let's grab that. And we're going to want to head off to the left here, keeping in mind that our real target is going to be that outside rail. So we'll do something like that. And then we're going to just run this off straight if we're anywhere near where we want to be. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. I think we can work with that. And we'll run up somewhere into here. Well, I guess we will have a few things to get rid of. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that while we're thinking about it, and we don't come back with a problem. Too close, too close. When in doubt, cut it out. That's what's going on today. Yeah, I'd like to say I'd keep you, but I'm not. Alright, good. Looking sharp. Alright, so then we are going to want to go that way, so we're going to keep the stand on the right, just because that's the side we're looking at most of the time. And we are definitely going to want some turnarounds in here now that I'm thinking about it, because it's like we got to run back and forth with a lot of stuff. But then again, where do we need to put that in? I don't know. So we'll probably start running without and just add. I'd rather add the turnarounds. Cool toasted little bonsai tree there. Then turn around and force the holding to be somewhere. I don't know. Kind of see what's convenient, I guess, before we do too much. Alright. There we go. And that we should hopefully. Ooh, that might be tighter than we want. We'll have to just take a look and see. Hello. See, weirdly enough, it's saying it's gonna connect. I wonder if we didn't put the switch far enough back. We might have to re-pop that one in there. It seems like it should be alright. Let's see what's the deal here. There we go. Yeah, we're not even gonna lose that plant. That's the problem right there. No, and it is too far. Okay, so we're just gonna fix it all. I think we'll back our switch up a little bit. Here's what we'll do. I think this is the one we used. Yep, for sure. And we'll just go ahead and drop them in like so. I think we'll back up 2 switches, and then we'll come in and get rid of this, and we'll get rid of this. This I don't know. We might as well just kind of keep that. That plays okay into the curve, I think. That looks decent. So then we'll grab this and run that out. Again, building out a little extra room here. Not a big deal in case we decide to put some holding out here. Just doesn't want to attach coming off of that side, or we have another rise problem in the ground, which we will certainly find out right here. No problems in the ground, actually. Everything looks nice and groovy there. So if we wanted to put in holding, we have tons of inside holding right here we could use to keep everything just nice and tight inside the box there. No problem. Then we'll come in here and we'll reattach that. So I think that looks good. Smelter off in that direction. Should be clear there. And then I think because this side already has enough wobble in it, we'll keep this. Plus we can probably just run around the back side of all these trees here and not have to cut down a ton. Will be kind of the idea there. So let's actually run this side out, then we'll drop in a switch to gather up that side with. We don't want to do this fast or in a sharp turn is what I'm getting at. Right side, we'll go like this. And we'll hook up on that. There we go. Sweet, sweet. All working nice and easy. Good. That's cool. That's cool. Probably better check the track See, this is one of those things where like I put this in, turn around and be like, oh, it's all cool, and then not clear the stuff out of the way of the cordwood, and then the run into the cordwood the first time will be a disaster because, oh, whoops. Alright, shrubbery we can't do anything about. That's cool. We know what those look like now, so not too worried about that. And see, right here would not be a bad spot for like a holding rail at all. Only concern, I guess, is the concern with the holding, because we're gonna have to obviously move those tier 2 cars out of the way before we can roll ore cars for sure. And that ore now is like a priority target for us. Alright, whatever. Either way, we're on a really nice wide arc. I think we're going to lose some plants in here regardless. Although, you know, maybe not. The less we have to take out, the better. Are we going to just trust that this is all actually clean rail? That's the thing, you know. Do you lay in rail from the overhead and go, oh yeah, I didn't put it on anything? Or do you still have to double check it? It's a risky business. Alright, there we go. Looks like we're good so far. So this will turn, we'll take a little bit of curve out of this. So this is a case in point. Last time I know I ran out under that overhang just to do it. Which side do we want to be on here? If we curve to make that curve, do we make it? We don't make it without taking out a bunch of stuff. So let's get out over here where we have plenty of room. We'll go into it like here, and then we'll start curving again. You just kind of have to play it how you want. What do you want to have in? What do you want to take out, kind of thing. And I think we'll run. Let's just run to here, and then we'll turn to get out of here a little more. We just take out that cluster. I like the look, and we're not taking out too much stuff. And these are one of those aloes, again, not going to come out. So that's cool. That's called a railroad aloe. And they're very train friendly. Alright. They do not like to derail locomotives. Cool, I think we can actually get... Nope, straight. No. Nope, not quite. We're not going to quite go straight yet. I think we'll ride on that curve. We're going to leave that rock in there. And then we'll just go ahead and probably snap from here. Maybe. Sort of. Not going to let us do it. Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's go off of this end and see if we can get it. Could just be on this one we're asking too much. This is a long run. We're going to have some rocks to get rid of. Are we out over 250? Yeah, we are. Well, it took it from that end. Sometimes the splines just do not like to run out over 250. We'll mess with it from time to time. That is not a goer. Looking good, looking good. That one, sadly, we are going to get rid of. And if we put this on top of any rocks, we won't know about it. But I think that is going to connect that. So then we just have to buy some hoppers and figure out where exactly we want to turn around and park these. So that's going to be another question. I am almost inclined to just put in a holding run right here. But then I don't want to lose that cactus, so we are probably not going to hold those out here. We'll end up holding them somewhere. Could almost hold them off on this side, though. Then you'd have to be able to put, well, you don't really, actually. The options are drop them here. So, I definitely don't want to get rid of any more of the rocks in there because I like the look of them. So I think we'll turn around and have to come up with a holding place for these, and then we'll turn around and be, oh, look, they're still floating. But that's, I think, is that because we're in flight mode when we do that? Yeah, for sure. And then we'll be grounded. So there's that. We are going to have to turn around and put in a holding track and pick up the hopper cars. We will be picking up at least 5 of the hopper cars. That'll be the thing. But I think at this point, that's probably long enough on this one, and we'll get to working on that in the next episode. So I think we're going to call it a win and say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.